Hi, Catherine Kyle here from greenthickies.com. Today is day 21 of the Leaf System 28-day challenge, and today I am going to be talking about healthy sweeteners. So I'm going to share 5 healthy ways to sweeten your food naturally, because sometimes we still want some nice tasting sweet food and we don't want to eat really unhealthy stuff like refined sugar. So there are certainly different ways that you can use healthier alternatives, and I'm going to share my favourite 5 with you today. And I also use these in my smoothies and in other sweet recipes. So my favourite way to sweeten food naturally is to use either dates or any other dried fruit. Now, there are so many advantages of using dried fruit, and the main reason is because it is a whole food. It's still a whole piece of fruit, and that means it has all of its nutrients, it has all of its fibre, so it's not going to spike the blood sugar levels, and it just keeps you really full and stable throughout the day. So that's why I like dates and dried fruit, because they are actually whole food. They're not something that's extracted from a food, and I like to eat whole foods as much as I possibly can. The disadvantage of using dried fruit in your smoothies is they can be difficult for some blenders to blend. If you don't have a high-speed blender like a Vitamix or a Blendtec, then you might struggle a bit more to blend them up into a fine blend and make it really smooth. So there are a few things you can do. You can soak your dates or your dried fruit the night before in a little bit of water, and the next day throw everything, including the water, into your smoothie, and that will make the dried fruit much softer and much more easy to blend. You can also make yourself a date paste, so you can put some dates and a small amount of water in a blender. Again, depending on how good your blender is, this may or may not work, and you can blend it up, and that makes a nice date paste, and you can put that in your jar, put it in your fridge, and just put a few spoonfuls of that, a couple of tablespoons in that, and that will have the same effect. So that's dates. Number 2, raw honey. Not just honey, but raw honey, because again, with pasteurized foods like honey that you buy in a normal shop, they have been heated to a high temperature and all of the nutrients are pretty much gone, so it's just like eating sugar really. So for that reason, I suggest you try and find some raw honey which has got all of its nutrients intact, and there are so many benefits of raw honey, it's unbelievable. You can use it to heal various parts of your body, but it has to be raw. So the disadvantages of honey is that it can be a bit high on the glycemic levels, so it can spike your blood sugar levels more than other types of food, but personally I haven't found that myself. I'm quite able to eat raw honey and I don't get any spikes myself. And you can just very quickly add that into your smoothie. It's very, very quick and very easy to blend. So that's honey. If you are a vegan and you don't eat honey, then I would suggest you use maple syrup, and this is another favourite in our household. I don't use honey or maple syrup in my smoothies because I just tend to use dates if I'm going to sweeten it, but I do give this to my kids for their pancakes, on top of their pancakes. So maple syrup is a good alternative, a good healthy alternative to normal syrup. Number 4, stevia. Stevia is an extract from a plant, or it might be the whole plant, just blended up. If it's green, then it is unprocessed, and if it's white, it's been processed. And you can also buy it in liquid form, which I've started to do recently. You can get some really nice flavours of stevia in liquid form. The advantage of stevia is that it doesn't have any calories, so it doesn't add anything extra to your smoothie. Say for example, sometimes I do this with my smoothies. I make a smoothie and it doesn't quite taste sweet enough, or it tastes a bit boring, something's missing, so I add in half a dropper full of stevia, liquid stevia, sometimes flavoured liquid stevia, and it just makes it sweeter and tastier if you buy the flavoured variety. And that's why I love stevia. And sometimes the disadvantage is that people don't like the taste of it. It has an unusual taste and it can be very, very overpowering if you put too much in. So you have to start small, add it gradually and get that balance just right, because too much is going to not taste as you want it to taste. It does kind of taste bad if you have too much stevia. And number 5 is xylitol. Now I personally don't really add xylitol to my food really, but it is in my toothpaste and it is in my chewing gum. Sometimes I eat chewing gum if I've got cravings, and that just completely takes away the cravings. So if you do chew chewing gum, I would recommend trying to find a natural, healthy chewing gum that has been sweetened by xylitol, because that's going to be good for your teeth. But for me, I don't add it to my food. I don't know, there's just something about it that I just don't fancy it in my food for some reason. And it's another substance that's been extracted from plants. So there you go, there's the 5 healthy sweeteners for you today. So we've got dates or other dried fruit, we've got raw honey, maple syrup, stevia and xylitol, and my favourite is dates. I just love them. They are so good for you, so healthy, so full of nutrients, so full of fibre. That is my absolute favourite. So I hope that's helped you to pick some healthier sweeteners for your food and for your smoothie. And I am excited about tomorrow, because I'm going to be sharing my 3-week result with you, which might be a bit scary for me this week, but I'm going to be honest nevertheless, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care.